Hi. I just finished work for the day, so I'm going to just spend my afternoon like reading and having lunch and trying to chill because this week my brain has been absolutely melted and I honestly haven't been reading that much because I've just been so tired that as soon as I start reading, my eyes just fall shut, which has been very helpful in the evenings when I want to go to sleep, but otherwise it's pretty annoying. But luckily, I feel a little bit more energized today, and my classes ended earlier than normal, the ones that I teach. So hopefully, I can get some reading in today. These are the books that I'm currently reading. I'll start with a coin because this one's actually pretty cool. So I'm doing Read for Palestine in September, which is where you donate €2 or £2 to, I think it's called Dignity for Palestinians, for every book that you finish reading in September. And I have actually been in the worst reading slump ever, which is like the worst timing because I really want to obviously donate and I will, but I haven't been able to finish a book yet in September, which kind of sucks, but it'd be like that sometimes. But I'm busy reading The Coin, which is by a Palestinian author, and it's about a Palestinian woman who lives in New York and just is insane. And I love it so far. I read so much of it in one sitting already. Like you can see, I've made at least a little bit of progress and I'm really loving it so far, but I just have not had like the brain power to sit down with it yet this week. So hopefully I will continue with this one today. That's my plan at least. And then I've also got Reservoir Bitches, which I'm currently working my way through very slowly. It's a collection of short stories, so it's kind of easy to like read everyone in a sitting by itself, but they are quite short, which I don't know if I like as much because if it's very short, it sort of like makes me want to read more than one at a time, but I prefer to read short story collections one story at a time. Otherwise, I just tear through it and I can't actually remember the individual short stories. So maybe I'll just sit down with one to get my reading momentum going this afternoon or something like that. And then I can see how far I get otherwise. And then I'm reading Take a Hint, Danny Brown on my e-reader, which I always like reading on my e-reader in the evenings right before I go to sleep because I can turn all the lights off in my room and I can just have the lights of my e-reader on so that I can just fall asleep sort of naturally while I'm reading. So I'm kind of like tricking myself into going to sleep by turning all the lights off and then continuing to read until I literally fall asleep. I guess that's not really much that I'm doing at the moment. I do want to clean out my closet at some point as well, so I'll probably show that in this video too, because it's just been getting a little bit out of hand. I don't really buy that much stuff, but I feel like I haven't done like a proper clear out in a while, and I just want to know what there is. And it's spring in South Africa now, so it's maybe time for a good spring clean too. Thanks so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you. I thought I was going to have a semi-chilled afternoon, but it turned out I had to basically do my entire visa appointment for when I go to England later this year. Um, if you have never done a visa for the UK, consider yourself lucky. It is a lengthy process, let's say. I'm not going to say anything bad about it before they've approved my visa, because they might watch this and see that I'm talking shit about them, but if they don't want me to talk shit about them, then they shouldn't make the process so insufferable. Anyway, so that's pretty much done. I've got my appointment next week. Uh, I'm not excited about it, but that's okay. So I haven't really read that much. I did read one of the short stories from this. I feel like a lot of people love this book way more than I'm loving it, but that's fine. I'll just continue it and maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit better as time goes on. My class started a little bit later than usual today, so I'm going to go to the grocery store before I go and also have a package that I have to drop off. So I'm gonna make that little venture now, before the traffic gets bad in the afternoons, because I live quite close to a school and there's always terrible traffic in the afternoons. And this is what I'm wearing. Not that you can see very well, but I do love this t-shirt because it says Mansplaining Survivor and it makes me very happy. And this cute little tote bag. So I got these shoes about 8 or 9 months ago, and like the Birkenstock, I think you call them mules. I got them secondhand, because I don't want to buy leather firsthand if I can help it. But they have been getting really dirty over the past few months, obviously, because like they're shoes and I wear them and I have to, they can't just like be clean forever. And I can't like wash them properly because they're suede. But I think I've sort of like, I mean, they don't still don't look new, which is fine. I don't mind that. But I've been cleaning them with this thing that I think you are actually supposed to use for like dead skin on your feet. But they kind of look better, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. But if anyone has advice for how to clean these shoes properly, like let me know, because I feel like I look stuff up and like that's why I use that thing to like scrub them a little bit. Uh, but I mean, I don't really know how to take care of them very well. So if you have any tips that are like cheap, Let me know, please. It's honestly so nice to just spend some time at the park as well because it's spring, like I always forget, but like it's always smells so nice. Because it got all the flowers and everything and it just smells so fresh. And like spring truly just is my favorite season for a myriad of reasons, but I forget that I really just love the smell of spring as well. It's just beautiful, beautiful time to be alive if it's springtime. Oh my god, that took so much longer than I thought it would. But I also knew it was going to take longer than I thought it would. But I think it took about 2.5 hours to clean everything and sort through everything. But I'm really glad that I've got 2 bags of things that are leaving. And I don't even think I had that much stuff. So, productive Saturday afternoon. And I think I'm just really tired now, so nothing productive is going to be happening for the rest of the day. I'm just going to go and read. I'm still busy with a coin, but I've made a lot of progress yesterday at the park, so that's good. And I'm gonna go see how far I can get with this. And then this evening it's my turn for movie night, and we're also eating pizza. And I don't really think there's that many other plans for the weekend. Tomorrow we're having a braai, which I'm very excited about. But that's just going to be like super chilled. It's just my parents and my sister. I base my entire weekend just around the food that I'm going to be eating because that's the way that you have to live life. Also, this morning I went on a walk to the place where I always go, and I didn't really film there because I was like, I always show the same places. I don't know if you guys want to see the same places over and over again. I find it comforting, but I don't want people to like be bored by seeing the same things. I mean, I guess nature is always kind of different, but let me know if that's like something that you don't mind seeing, or if you would like for me to show different things in every video. I mean, every week something different does happen because it's just life. But I do a lot of things over and over again because I I need my comforts. I'm very much like a routine person because I know what like helps me to regulate my anxiety and my nervousness. So let me know if it comforts you to see the same things in my videos. That's also good because then I can just keep doing it. Okay, time to go and read on the stuff. everybody's surprise, but most of all mine, I actually managed to finish 2 books this past week. Uh, I'm very pleased about it. I mean, and I've made quite a good progress in 2 of the other books that I'm also reading at the moment, so I'm extremely happy. I wouldn't say any of the books are like favorites of all time, but I'm very happy that, I'm at least getting some momentum in reading. And I think I sometimes sort of think that my reading should just be things that I love, or I feel like I'm a little bit of an epicurist in the sense that I don't really want to be doing things that I don't really enjoy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I do think to cultivate your reading taste or taste that has anything to do with media is really important to also read things that you feel lukewarm about or that you like and don't love. So many interesting things to think about. Anyway, The Coin I really did enjoy. It's one of the weirdest books that I've ever read, and for that reason, I kind of really appreciate it. I really like when a book feels like nobody else could have written it. Only the person who wrote this book could have thought this whole concept up. Maybe I just feel that way because my reality is extremely removed from this author's reality, but I found it extremely fascinating. I've never read anything quite like it. She feels extremely lost in her sense of statelessness, and there's a lot of things that she discusses just about cleanliness and sort of the ways in which she has unconventional teaching methods at the school where she works. And that all those things are sort of there for her to regain, I guess, a sense of control over her own life. And I found that really interesting. I liked it. It's not a favorite of mine, but I do think I'll think about it for quite a while because it's just, like I said, so different from anything else that I've read before. I did go into some more detail on my Instagram, especially on my highlight on my stories where I always post my book reviews about what I thought of this one. Liked it. It's not a favorite, but I do think just, consuming Palestinian literature in general is important to me. So I'm glad that I read this. Then I've got Reservoir Bitches, which I'm sorry to say I really didn't like. For me, the biggest problem here was just the writing style. It just did not strike a chord with me at all. In fact, it kind of annoyed me at some points. There were about 2 or 3 stories where I was like, okay, this is actually pretty interesting, but I didn't really like it that much. The writing style, like I said, is what really put me off. So not very happy about this one. Especially because this one came very highly recommended to me from many people whose tastes I really trust. So I don't know, this one just really fell flat for me. If you've read this one, let me know what your thoughts were because I find it really interesting to just read through other people's reviews now that I've actually read the whole book. I thought about DNFing it a whole bunch of times, but in the end, it's not a very long book and it's short story, so it's easy to get through. Yeah, I wouldn't say I regret reading this, but I am confused why other people love it so much because it doesn't feel as groundbreaking to me as it seems like it felt to other people. I'm still reading Take a Hint, Danny Brown on my e-reader, and I'm still loving it. It's such a fun romance book. I highly recommend it. I said on my Instagram as well that their relationship really reminds me of the relationship between Keely and Roy in Ted Lasso, and I love their relationship, especially in season 2. So I just love that dynamic, and I love fake dating romance. It all works for me. I was so happy I picked that one up. Well, people told me I should pick that one up because it's got so many things that I love. I've also been reading 2 other Palestinian books. I've got Forest of Noise, which is a poetry collection. I've been working my way through very slowly because it's extremely sad, obviously, but it's very, very beautiful, and I can definitely see myself rating this extremely highly. This is definitely the book that I have picked up so far this week that I've been liking the most. It's got all of the sort of elements in a poetry collection that I really love. Very beautiful metaphors, imagery, unusual imagery that I really like, and that makes the poems really stick out to me. And I just love it. It's a beautiful collection. I definitely have to read more of his poems at some point. And then I've also started Plestio's book, which I'm extremely happy to actually have because I couldn't find it for a long time. It's absolutely stunning. I just started it this afternoon, so I'm not very far into it. I'm literally just a couple of pages, but yeah, Plestio is just one particular person, I think, who I've been following quite closely since October 2023. So I'm very, very grateful that I can support her in this way as well. And I actually haven't donated any money for the Read for Palestine campaign because I have to pay a fee to donate to the website, which is fine. I'm happy to pay it, but I can't pay it every single time, and it's the same amount every single time. So my idea is just going to be to pay the fee at the end of the month, and then I'll just have all the books added up with the £2 that I'm paying for each book, or donating for each book that I finish in September. How it's going at the moment, I feel like at least 5, which is very, very unusual for me. Like 5 is normally my max, which I'm very pleased about, and it's only just over halfway. So yeah, let me know what your favorite books are that you've been reading in September. That would be great to know. Thanks for following along with my week. It was really lovely to just spend time with you in this way, and I'll see you again super soon. Take care.